you're going to be like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen because this is something that God's put in my life. All glory to Him for it. You imagined it so much. You knew what it was going to look like. Why in the world would you be surprised when it actually comes into realization I want you to imagine if everything worked out. I think our imagination is a huge tool that we misuse and abuse a lot of times, that God's given us the ability to picture things mentally that aren't actually happening in the physical realm, but a lot of the times we do relate it back to physical. But that's an amazing thing. That's such a beautiful gift for us to be able to use, is having the power of our imagination and being able to imagine things that do align with where God's calling us to do, and to use it as a positive force. I think so much of this world is used in the sense of when you're imagining something, you're laying in bed at night and you're thinking of all these negative scenarios, or you're struggling in something, so you're going over all the bad outcomes that could come out of it. But what if you switched it around? What if you used your imagination for a positive aspect and a positive view? Because if you're going to convince yourself of everything wrong that could happen, you owe it to yourself to convince yourself of everything right that could happen, to prove the right that could happen from it using your imagination. If you're going to prove it wrong, you owe it to yourself to prove it right. And if you spent the amount of time imagining all the good that's in this world, imagining all the amazing outcomes that can happen because God strengthens us through us all, and all things are possible with Him. If you imagined that, like how He gives us the power to be able to have in the type of fruition and the type of prosperity, you would be able, it all starts in your imagination. Proverbs 23:7 says, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. As we think and what we think on is going to be a huge aspect of actually what we're able to achieve. He says it directly. What we think on is what we are. What if you used your imagination to think on good? If you're praying for finances, what if you used your imagination to think on the beautiful house that you want, or to think on the beautiful land that you want, and the mountains that are going to be on it, and the flowers that are going to grow on it, and every single thing, the stream, the pond, whatever is going to be there, the walls inside the house that you've bought, and the rooms that it's going to have, and your dog running around. Like, what if you could use your imagination to think on that? If you're praying to be more present with your family and to have that type of freedom, what if you sit around and you imagine, or throughout your day, and you imagine what that would actually look like, being able to be present with your family, being able to see your children grow, being able to have that laughter, and to have that presentness with them that wasn't interrupted by, oh, I have to go to work, or oh, I have to go do this now, but you actually got to be present there and to have that type of freedom. If you're feeling called to travel, what if you imagined and used your imagination in this light, instead of thinking about, oh, I wish I could go here, I wish I could do this, and it being this negative atmosphere that you created because it's something that's unachievable? Use your imagination in the positive light of, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. This is something that God's put on my heart to be able to travel, and I'm just thinking about this place and being able to go hiking here, or to be able to go here and see a sunset, or see the beautiful sunrise here, or have this experience, or see the beautiful, because God's creation is amazing. The amount that you can imagine is incredible. The amount that you can sit around and be able to, as you think in your heart, so are you, have that type of visual realization in yourself. You're creating such a foundation for it to be able to happen in your reality. And that is amazing. That is amazing of its own, to have that type of clarity in your life and in your imagination for it then happen in your reality. Because when it does, when you're able to get that beautiful house, when you're able to have that land, when you're able to be staying home with your family, whatever you're feeling called, when you're able to travel, all of these things you're feeling called to do, when it actually happens, you shouldn't be surprised about it. You should be like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen. That is an amazing thing if you were to be able, and you should imagine this too. Imagine it actually coming true, and it's not a surprise because you already knew it was going to happen. This is something that God's called you into. You've maybe known it for a month. You've maybe known it for 6 months. You've maybe known it for a year, but you knew it was going to happen. And because you imagined it so much, you knew what it was going to look like. Why in the world would you be surprised that it actually comes into realization with the actual manifestation of it comes into play, why would you be surprised? Because I think if there's a huge surprise factor there, then obviously you didn't actually believe what you were thinking on and what you were putting so much time and energy into. Maybe it was just these dreams and not something that you actually had the real sense to. But if it is something because you thought on for all this time, when it comes into place, you're not going to be surprised. You're going to be like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen, because this is something that God's put in my life. All glory to him for it, to coming to this place of being able to have the house, being able to have the land, being able to travel, being able to be present, being able to be a stay-at-home mom. Whatever it is, you are not going to be surprised, because you already knew. And with God, all things are possible. So why in the world would it be a surprise that you've gotten to this place now and it is possible? Absolutely.